How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Today I'm going to make a quick little video of my Hustler Raptor SD 54-inch deck with the Kohler engine on it. I just hit, or I guess about 99.9 hours, and I wanted to give you guys my 100-hour feedback on this, and I kind of give you what I've had issues with it, some of the problems to look out for, and maybe what I still recommend at this point in the game. If you guys feel inclined, if you like the video, give me that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already part of the YouTube family. And if you are, thanks for watching. Hit that little bell. You'll get more notifications when I post more videos. And share this with your friends. Maybe you'll find some of this information useful as well. Let's go take a look at the mower, and I'll point out some of the stuff that I think you should look out for. Stick around. So let's go ahead and fire it up 100 hours, see how she lights off and runs. This is from a cold start, and I haven't started it in about a couple of days since I mowed last. From an idle, let's go ahead and start it. So the Hustler Raptor SD. Some of the problems I've had with this have been minor in scope, but they are issues none the fact. In a previous video I did my initial review on this mower, and I thought being at 100 hours would be fitting to do another one. So I'm gonna get off my lazy butt, we'll walk around this mower, I'll show a few things that I would watch out for. Then I'll give you my feedback on whether or not I would still purchase this mower if I was in the market for one today. Well, we're not quite at 100 hours, but that's as close as you're gonna get. 99.9 hours. I am on my third season with this tractor. I bought it brand new in 2018. This is the 2017 model, so I'm guessing it looks like it was built late in 2017. So here in Iowa it would be the fall time, and would have been delivered early in the next spring. So let's go ahead and cover some of the issues I've had with this thus far. In my previous video I did on this, I did mention a few issues, and we're just going to kind of cover them all in one lump here. First off thing, this has the Kohler 7000 series engine on it, 25 horsepower. Something that's not necessarily Hustler's fault, but it did exist, is these valve covers leaked. They have that the sealant between them. They don't actually have the gaskets, but after I took it in, they replaced it, the gasket material, under warranty, and ever since then it hasn't been an issue. I had that happen around 73 hours, I believe, and it sounds like it's a relatively common issue. The dealer did say, however, I continue to have problems. They do have a retrofit. They can use a gasket with these covers. But I'm guessing they don't want to do it unless they have to. Here again, since it's been resealed, there hasn't been any issues, but I will keep an eye out for that. Next on the list of issues, the deck. More so on the paint side of things. I mentioned before, it sounds like the Hustler factory had some issues with their paint line, and the filtration system was not keeping the rinse pure and clean, and the filtration system was bad, and I was getting a lot of flaking on the deck. This spring of 2020, the dealer replaced the deck in its entirety and basically replaced all the guts, or put all the same guts in the old deck under the new shell. So far the paint's been holding up well, but that's just something you want to keep an eye out for. Another thing I've had issues with are these pins coming out. These deck hangers aren't the most heavy duty thing in the world. They do work fine, but keep an eye and make sure these latches stay on the back of these pins. That was a problem, and I actually had one of these fall off and the deck pin basically came all the way out, which creates an issue when you're mowing. Things will be unlevel and you will scalp the ground. It's the same thing here in the back. Keep in mind, the mower needs a bath. It's not quite bath day yet. That happens once a month, and I just haven't got that done yet. So more to come on that. Another issue to look out for, it sounds like it was limited to this SD series, and I think it may have even been fixed in 2018. There has been some feedback from people. Yes, grass does collect in here a little bit, and in my previous video I mentioned that I put these gator blades on, and ever since I switched it I haven't had as much of a problem of grass clogging up. But unless you have this chute up, it will grab the grass and it will plug your chute. You'll notice on the new SDX model and maybe even the new SD, they opened this channel up all the way and got rid of this bottom bar. There is another fellow over on another channel that does have some modifications he does this bottom bar. I just haven't wanted to go that far yet because since I installed these gator blades, my problem has pretty much been resolved. So something else to keep an eye out for, and especially even when looking at nothing besides the the Raptor series, make sure your deck has a nice opening for the grass to escape out the chute. Another problem I've had is the deck adjustment. Well, more specifically, the pin that holds the deck into adjustment. This pin sits in there freely until you lower the deck, and then it becomes tight from the deck pressure sitting on it. When you're bouncing up and down your yard, the deck bounces up and down and takes pressure off of this pin. And what happened in my case is this pin fell out and the deck dropped all the way down to the bottom level, causing me to put a huge stripe in my yard that I didn't notice at first. Thankfully I found the pin and was able to put it back in, but what I did to mitigate the issue was put one of these pins on the outside to keep the lock from coming out. There's a little tab on here supposed to keep it in, but somehow magically it hits that just perfect and pops out. Haven't had an issue since that. That happened to me when I bought it new in 18, and since I put this on it hasn't been a problem. So if you guys are having that issue, take a look at that. That might help you out. One of the final issues I had with it had to do with the steering. They say this has the smooth track steering or whatever their specific brand name is for it. But I had a problem with going straight. Obviously there is adjustment on your handles to keep you going straight. But come to find out, when I had it in the shop and they were fixing the valve cover, that apparently there was some oil that had leaked down on top of the drive belts and was causing the mower to track off center. So they cleaned that up and degreased it, and it seemed to fix the problem. Here again, that was not something that I really had been looking for, but they happened to notice that was the case. It sounds like it had been seeping out somewhere, like from the drain plug or something, but I always check the oil to make sure it's at a good level, so I don't know how much it took, but it definitely said that was a problem there. And you can see, maybe you can see if I can get up under there, but basically those pulleys are right, but apparently those pulleys and some of those belts had gotten some grease on them, or some oil on them, and they started slipping. So just know that's something to keep an eye out for, because those belts are right below where the oil filter happens to be, which is not in a great spot, but if you take off this outside panel, it's pretty easy to get to. I just really wish when they're building these mowers they keep some of that stuff in mind, because you're supposed to change oil on a regular basis and they make it kind of difficult to do. So aside from all the negativity, would I still recommend this tractor to anybody looking at I would say it's as close as you're gonna get to the commercial grade, unless you buy the fast tracked version. But my opinion on this SD is I do thoroughly enjoy the mower. It's at 100 hours on it. Nothing has left me, stuck and able to mow my yard. All the stuff has been minor that's gone wrong, and hasn't kept me from finishing what I was doing. Yeah, maybe it's an annoyance because you have to take it back to the dealer or have them pick it up, but the dealer from my house is only about 20 minutes away or less, so really isn't all that big a deal. And I'm glad that the biggest thing here is that they stick by their warranty and fix the stuff they had an issue with, which is most important to me, is when they stick by their product. A couple other things I like about the mower. and why I would recommend it, I guess, is it's bang for your buck. I think it was just shy of $4,000 when I bought it new. You're not going to get a much better built mower. Yes, there's going to be other brands that have similar built tractors, but this has a really stiff frame on it. You can tell when you're driving around on it, it has some pretty high quality product built inside of it. The nice tube or C-channel steel they use, and then the heavy duty gauge steel on that all welded deck is really nice. The tires have been great. Obviously, you know, the ZTRs have issues with traction, and I know maybe there could be some better tires for the rear of it, but so far they've done a good job. Haven't had any flats or anything, or even loss of air. And finally, really, the seat. The seat is really nice. It does make a little noise, and people are going to hear it when you're bouncing up and down, just squeaking, you know. And you could put some pads in the back here, which I probably will do. But it is nice having a little bit of extra suspension in it, because when you're hauling butt with this thing, I mean, because I can easily mow it to 7.5 miles an hour, it says, and any extra suspension helps, especially if you don't want to take it a little easy on your back. Another thing I like about it is how easy it is to check this stuff. I know a lot of these motors are easy to get at, but the servicing is good on it, except for the oil filter location. Like I said, all the fuel filters in a good spot, and even the hydro filters underneath the side, and this one's in a good spot. You'll see under here the you know, the gas tank and batteries right there. The hydrostat fluid there, the overflow, basically where you add fluid at, the overflow tank's right there. I think when it got a little dust on it because I was double checking it and spilled a little bit, and apparently the dirt collected, so ignore that. And even down here to adjust your drive handles, they're easy to get to. So overall, I would say it's a very solid tractor, and I would buy it again if I had the option. But just keep in mind, like I said, the deck may be the biggest issue overall with the OEM blades on it. By adding on these Gator blades, it's mitigating my issue almost completely. And there's a little tiny bit of grass buildup under the deck, but not very much compared to how it was. So that's my 2 cents on this entire deal. Thanks for joining me for this quick 100-hour review of the mower. I just want to give you guys kind of the heads up of what I had issues with, maybe stuff out to look out for, specifically just in this video. End of the day, I still would recommend this mower to anybody looking to buy a little bit larger zero turn to mow your yard. I take care of about 1.5 acres to 2 acres, depending upon if you count some of the home association property I mow. But it's done really well for me, and it's never left me stranded. Let me know if you guys have any questions about this video, or if any other feedback on some other features or items of the mower you're looking at when considering this mower. Give me some comments down here below if you do. If you guys like the video, give me a thumbs up. Hopefully it helps you guys out in making some decisions on these mowers. And then share it with your friends. Maybe they'll looking for this too when they're out there looking for these hustler mowers themselves. And if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. If you're already part of the YouTube family, I appreciate your viewership. And then hit that little bell so you get notifications when I post these videos, because everybody wants to hear me talking and flap my jaw. At least I like hearing myself talk. So until next time, thanks for watching and tuning in to K6 Outdoors. Get outside, keep that grass in good shape, mow it like you mean it. Until next time, I'll see ya.